Shalom, all praises, glories, and honors to Yahweh, BIOCHIP, Yahweh Shai, BIOCHIP Makakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who have taught me this truth, as well as men of like mind. Shalom wa chasa to the elect of the nation of Israel, whom are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and Israelite foreigners that have the appearance of the other heathen nations, but are Israelites according to the seed line of your forefathers. And to you I say Shalom and Yahweh BIOCHIP Yahweh Shai Ratazah. This lesson is edifying and informative. Now in today's lesson, we will expand upon this article entitled Etisalat unveils microchip implant at Gitex Technology Week in Dubai. This article was published October 12, 2019 at 8:45 a.m. by Shaman Azik, published on the Khalij Times, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Okay. It reads, if you thought having a mobile can bring the whole world in your hand, and here's an update for you. Speaking to the people of Dubai, which the people of Dubai are Ishmaelites, so-called Arabs. Okay. A new concept introduced at the 39th Gitex Technology Week is promising people the ultimate form of mobiles by giving humans bionic abilities via microchips implanted in their bodies. And this will be one of the tactics that Esau Edom will use amongst many others to cause both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to willfully take the RFID microchip before they make it mandatory for all to take it upon the planet Earth. Okay, we have seen tactics such as, if you take the chip, you'll be able to access your doors simply by swapping your hand. The doors at your home, in your office. You'll be able to access vending machines simply by swapping your hands to make payments. If you've been born with a disorder or a disability, if you take the chip in your forehead, it will help you maneuver around those disabilities. If you was born with a disability and where you cannot walk, or you having problems walking, using your brain to control your nervous system, to control your arm or your legs to walk, by taking this chip, you'll be able to walk now. These are just some of the tactics that they're going to use to cause people around the world to willingly take the chip. Or you won't have to worry about losing your wallet anymore, because your wallet is not going to be in your hand. You won't have to worry about losing your car keys anymore, or your house keys, because now it's going to be in your hand. And all you'll have to do is simply wave your hand across a machine, across a piece of sensor. You see? But reading on, it says, Etisalat has partnered with Swedish company BioHacks International, and as you true brothers out there know, and if you've been keeping update, the rest of you out there, Sweden is now pushing for its common citizen to just simply take the chip now, because everyone is basically, it basically became a cashless society. Okay, now everything is being done by way of the chip, and that's prophecy. You see? It says, has partnered with Swedish company BIOCHIP International to implant microchips in a person's hand that can be loaded with all kinds of data, including your medical history, passport, etc. See? Oh, it's going to contain your medical history. It's going to contain your passport data, your financial information. You won't have to wait long in line to simply pay with a wallet, because all you'll have to do is just swipe, wave your hand over a machine that's going to scan everything quickly. Oh, this is going to reduce time, customers being in line at a more quicker rate, more efficient rate. They're going to use all kinds of excuses to further push the RFID microchip, which is a mark of the beast, across the four corners of the earth, in which they will do, in which they are doing. The demonstration of the microchip, NFC card, was shown on the opening day of Gitex Technology Week 2019 to Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. That's a long name, man. Crown Prince of Dubai, who lauded the technology, and he's going to push this technology upon his people. Several ministers, including the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Finance, also showed interest in bibbing the technology and are in talks with the Swedish firm to integrate it. And Dubai is one of those countries where you have a lot of wealthy Ishmaelites, man, and the heathens as well, and a lot of Edomites go over there too as well. Their infrastructure is highly engineered, and they're just pretty much drunk off of the wine of Babylon. This rice grain sized, and that's the RFID microchip, also known as the NFC chip. Biocompatible NFC implant can be inserted just under the skin between the index finger and thumb. The chip can be injected under the skin exactly like a vaccine shot, explained Johan Osterlund, the founder and CEO of BIOCHIP International. And he's just simply a puppet for the elites to push the agenda of their New World Order to massively microchip the inhabitants of the earth. That is, all people on the face of the planet Earth. But the elect of the nation of Israel will not take that chip. Lord's willing, we are of the Lord's elect. It says his firm has manufactured thousands of such chips in Sweden and Europe. And it's not just Sweden that's using this chip. You have England as well, certain parts of England. You have over here in the United States, there's a company in Wisconsin called the Tree Square Market. Their employees, and even their employer has the microchip implanted into their right hand. And other various parts of the U.S., which is Babylon the Great. So the Lord is speeding this thing up, and the Spirit has been heavy upon the mark of the beast over the past few weeks. And we see these prophecies coming to pass clearly, man. And that is why we ought to keep watching, so that we may feed and edify and warn the elect. Because time is running out. Time is short. You have Esau deleting brother's channel, terminating brother's channel. So guess what? That's the famine of the word. That's the Lord telling you, you better get this while. And you know what, man? I'll not say you. I'll say we. I'll say us, because that's the Lord telling us to get as much information as we can of his knowledge and wisdom before he shuts down the internet, man. Before he closes the gate of mercy. Before the famine of the word. Because there will be a famine, there will be a scarcity of word. And Yahushua said, man shall not eat by bread alone, but by the bread that cometh out, but by the words, excuse me, that cometh out of the mouth of the Most High, roughly paraphrasing. Because these words are likened unto food, in which we eat, and the word eat means to study. That's why they have the saying in the world, food for thought. And we eat these words by studying them. Reading on, it says, this biocompatible NFC implant enables seamless digital interaction with most everyday encounters. You see? And this is one of the like I said, this is going to be the tactic that they're going to use to wheedle the minds of the people into willingly desiring and to go receiving that mark, that chip. For example, getting rid of keys, as I said earlier, loyalty tokens, money and access cards, because they're going to say, oh, look, all that is going to be stored in one small device that has the appearance of a grain of rice that can be embedded into your right hand or into your forehead. And that is the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip. So what are some of you guys out there saying that the chip is a philosophy and all this madness, man? You better repent and get your spiritual, stuff together. You can even open doors or start a car. See, they're gonna say, oh, you could start your car simply by pressing your thumb. Just as an example, because the keys are going to be inside of your hand, or your car keys are not going to be inside of your thumb. For example, they can also be loaded with medical data that can be accessed if the person was ever in an accident. Jawan told College Times, adding that the chip can stay inside the human body for 10 to 20 years and can be replaced after that. The cost of the chip is 150 euros, DH607 approximately. But for students, Juan said they will give a 50% discount. So they're going to really push this, especially on young people. Upon all you people out there, you so-called new millennials that are caught up in the cares of this world. You see, in technology, in the latest tech, ultimately upon all you people. So now let's go to the scriptures. This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 16 and 18. And we all know these scriptures. And he calls it all. Who's it he? Esau, Edom, his hegemony, the banking families, the DuPonts, the Gettys, the Oppenheimers of Esau, Edom, the so-called white race. Calls it all, both small and great, from a baby to a very elderly senior in society, rich and poor, whether you be rich in this society or whether you be poor, free and bond, whether they be free in this society or whether they be in bondage in the jail system, locked up in a pit, in a cell, to receive a mark in their right hand. And that word mark is charagma in the Greek, which means an imprinted mark, an implanted mark. The root word of charagma is charak, which means a palisade or a stake. Okay? Because the chip, which is the RFID microchip, the mark of the beast, has the appearance of a palisade or a stake. A stake or a palisade is an instrument that has a pointed bottom and can puncture things such as dirt to keep things out, man. To separate, to divide, to separate things. Back in the ancient world, they used palisades to build gates and bars and all this kind of stuff, man. And also, the syringe that is used to puncture the flesh of an individual to then insert the RFID microchip also has the appearance of a palisade. It has a pointed bottom. And the root word of charax is grapho, which means of the writings. Because within the RFID microchip is where they'll keep and store and keep all your information, your medical information, your financial information, so on and so forth. That's that mark, which is a RFID microchip, which is a mark of the beast, also known as the NFC chip implant or BIOCHIP implant, in their right hand or in their foreheads, all right, their cerebral cortex. And that no man might buy or sell, because your forehead, if that's talking about in front of your brain, the middle of your head, and that's called your cerebral cortex. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. So this man, when he mandates the RFID microchip, whoever doesn't take that chip will not be able to buy or sell. And the elect, we're not gonna take that chip. Lord willing, be of the Lord's elect, because the Lord is gonna provide for us, just like He has provided for our forefathers in times past, in which you read about Elijah, Elisha, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Amos, Obadiah, all the prophets, man. The Lord always provided for us. When His elect, man. The woman and her son that was with Ezekiel, or the name of the beast. Now, the beast is a pagan Roman empire which came back in the form of NATO and the EU, with America being an extension of that empire. That is the beast, or the number of his name. Okay? So who doesn't receive that chip, who doesn't take that chip, will not be able to buy nor sell. And they'll be considered an enemy of Esau, Edom's kingdom. And they're going to be put to death. They're going to be guillotined. They're going to be beheaded. Verse 18, here is wisdom. Let him that had understanding count the number of the beast, for it is a number of a man, and his number is 666. And that is his barcode system, 666, that you see on all your products. Without this system, he can't really push his agenda. He needs this barcode system. And also, when you go into the 600 trees going 6, the word there is chi, sty, stigma. Chi and sty both means X mark. There's a saying in the world, X marks a spot. And if you notice in certain medical movies, before a doctor or a nurse would inject the patient with a needle to insert whatever it is within, the syringe, the needle or whatever, they would mark a little X or a little circle upon the patient's hand, upon their leg or wherever, and then they would go on to then puncture the flesh of that individual with the syringe. Okay, all goes back, all going into that chip, man. And stigma means stamp. It also means, figuratively, a mark of disgrace. So once you take that chip, you're basically a servant to this man. You're saying, oh, Esau is my power, and the Lord is going to utterly destroy you, because you would be considered a very bad, great disgrace, man. Now let's get the judgment. Revelation chapter 14, verse 9. Verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image. Now the image of the beast is a system of the beast. His political system, his educational system, his financial system, the way his buildings are constructed, his laws, his defensive system, everything that comprises this man's system. That's the image. And receive his mark in his philosophies. Let's not forget that. That's a part of it. And receive his mark in their forehead or in his hand. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. So the wrath of the heavenly Father Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is being likened unto wine, which is poured out into into a cup, which represents his indignation, in which those that receive that mark are going to drink continually, very down, all the way down to the dregs, and are going to be destroyed, man. Okay, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh. So the wrath of the Lord is like being likened unto wine, and which shall be poured out into a cup, which represents his indignation. And which is poured out without mixture. Without mixture meaning that it's going to be poured out without being diluted. It's going to be at its full force, at its full potency. Okay? And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone from those ICBM nuclear missiles and from the concentrated rays of light that will be shot forth from the chariots, okay, which are known as so-called UFOs or UPCs. UAP, excuse me, unidentified area phenomena. That's what they call it now. In the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, which is Yahweh Shai. And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, meaning for a period of time, and they have no rest, day nor night, who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. And that is a judgment of those that receive that chip. And to you Israelites out there, you are not to take the RFID microchip. Okay? You are not to take the RFID microchip. Do not take the RFID microchip, for it is the mark of the beast. The beast is a pagan Roman empire which came back in the form of NATO and the EU, with America being an extension of that empire. Because America is that great whore that's riding upon the beast. Okay? But 2/3 of you, you're not going to listen. You're going to take it anyways. But the elect, Lord is willing, the Lord delivers very soon. Because the elect is not going to take that chip, man. So with that, I say shalom. Until next time. Lord willing.